You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do.
And then you hear it in your head. And we're
Yeah,
live.
see. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rivalry. Usually we do the show on Wednesday, but I'm going to be out of town Wednesday. And Ryan has the flu, so I forced him to do it today. Said, listen here, partner. We're either doing this. Um, if you're watching,
I had a fever yesterday and I went 7 hours.
yeah, I was going to say, if you're watching, you're going to notice Ryan has a flu and my voice is gone. So probably not the ideal situation to do the pod, but we're here and we're here for you guys. So, anyways, how was your weekend, man? You had nothing to stress out about. The Niners already played. Um,
Yeah. We already got our
anything?
win.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
Anything
able to go
happened?
back into my corner store. I was able to go back in my corner store and ask my corner store guy what happened when he said we weren't going to score any more points, and we ended up scoring 13 more points. Yeah.
Um, did anything happen over the weekend regarding the 49ers, or been nice and quiet? No good or bad news?
Well, Friday night we did get the the information that it sounds like Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch got contract extensions
Yeah, I did see that. That was like
on week 3. On week 3. What?
mhm. Yep. Um, yeah, see, the Mariners did that one time. This is the only thing I really have because when the Seahawks extend Pete and John, it seems like it's in the off season. The Mariners did it mid season and then the team fell apart after. But this isn't the Mariners, this is the 49ers. So I don't expect that, but that's just from my
Like,
experience with that.
some people in the fan base think it's okay and perfectly fine, which I get. I understand. But at the same time, our goal is to win that 6th Lombardi trophy. And if you can dangle any carrot over a coach and a general manager to do their most to get to that goal, the best thing is through contract. So once you give them their contract, week 3 of the year that means the most, like, you're just taking all the edge off of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I
How did you feel
I
about
me
them getting
personally,
extended?
I don't like it. I would have wrote up 2 contracts for each one of them. And I would be
Mm,
like, this is your next contract if you win a Super Bowl, and this is your next contract if you don't. Okay?
mm-hmm.
Once you win a Super Bowl, you win a Super Bowl this year, we'll renegotiate your contract right now under that price. You know what I mean? We'll
Now,
do it right the day after.
now was this their last year of both their contracts? Was that why?
No, they have it till they're on till the 2025. I think
Oh,
actually 25 and 26, I believe it is. I think one of them
oh,
goes to 26, and I think John Lynch comes up in 25. So
before the
personally,
extensions.
yeah,
So there was no
it's
need to do it at all.
there was no need.
See, that's the thing is I didn't know prior to talking to you right now, I had no idea that I was thinking because they'd be two pretty freaking hot commodities in the off season if they weren't signed up before next year. But yeah,
So
uh,
this is the other thing. You got this is what I think what brung this upon us. People have been talking about if Kyle doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, he's on the hot seat. And I think this might have been done to quell any rumors of there being any sort of a hot seat,
Yeah.
which I don't like because whether there is or there isn't a hot seat, I don't want it to be known. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly. And you don't want your coaches to feel too comfortable.
it's like I had a buddy who he only had spanked his son like twice in his life, right? And I watched how he disciplined his son. And it wasn't like he just laid him over his lap. The kid thought he was about to get his ass spanked really bad, and his dad would put his hand on his butt, and then he'd talk real loud as he raised his hand, and then the kid would scream, and he just put his hand back down on his butt, and then talk real loud again as he brought it up, and then the kid would scream, and it was like he was getting his ass beat the whole time, but he never hit him. Right? It was the thought
Hmm.
what happened when and obviously that doesn't work if you didn't beat their ass good enough for them to remember it once. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, like, I just think that this is the thing. It's like you don't have to say or do anything. Just the thought of it being out there keeps people on the edge. It keeps them on their grind. And I think taking away that out of the middle of week 3 was ridiculous.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't think that's a mid-season conversation to be had, anyways. I think that's something you handle in the off season.
Oh, we had a David McDiner raid.
I did. I hit that. Um, what's up, Brian Culp? I'm glad to see all you guys in here for McNiner's channel right now. All dose of you. But
We appreciate you guys.
yeah, appreciate you guys sticking around.
We'll go and raid your channel later
Yeah, for sure.
with you
Um,
guys.
exactly. We just switched. We have the same people. But
Yeah. Brian's
anyways,
going into his own show saying the rivalry raid.
yeah, exactly. What do you guys what do you think of the Hawks? I saw you stream the game yesterday, did you? I think you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Second
That was
half
a
ended
that
good.
was a that was a weird game.
Yeah, it really was. And the thing I'll give the Hawks credit for is they played that game with two starting offensive linemen, and then for eight snaps with one starting offensive lineman. And the Panthers aren't the worst team at rushing the quarterback. They're not the worst run defense in the NFL. They're kind of middle of the pack at everything, which is perfect. Um, which is really a good test for those backups. Now, next week we get our starting right guard back. Next week that team is going to look 100, not 100%, but you're going to watch the tape from last week and then next week and be like, oh shit, that guy's still on the team. Oh, that guy's still on the team. So our right guard will be back. Our right tackle will be back. Our starting tight end will be back. Our starting cornerback will be back. Our starting slot cornerback will be back. Our starting strong safety will be back. So it was truly a good game to have on the schedule when you have this many injuries. And I'm just happy to see the second half they could take care of business. Because the first half they played great in between the 20s. They looked awesome until they hit the red zone. The
Yeah.
offense did. I mean,
Yeah.
it was crazy. They would move the ball to the 20-yard line and then it would just stop.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to push back there. I don't think it looked awesome. But they were consistently getting down the field.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if if they had like less incompletes and
Hmm.
it flowed more, then I would say you were right there. But
Yeah, and Gino didn't look like Gino the first half either. He was missing a few throws.
no, you were right.
There was
I
one.
remember
There
saying
was
something like, I didn't think Gino could regress, but it looks like he was a little bit in that first half.
Well, yeah, there was an out route to Fant. I think I still haven't watched the replay of the game. I'm going to do that tonight. But there was an out route to Fant where he just totally overthrew him. I mean, the guy was open. And then it was nice to see the second half. Everything came back together. And on the offense, everything was fine. I think that was a good test for our second string offensive line. Brian Burns is no joke coming off the edge. I don't know if you saw, there was one play where Gino looked like he got murdered on the field. They had the Seahawks offense allowed 2 sacks. It was one of those plays where the backup guard came in to fill in for our starting. Like I said, we had 2 starters on the O line. So literally, it was all second stringers except for the center. And Brian Burns just comes in, just beats Forsyth right between him and the guard, and just smacks Gino. And that was really the only play where I could say that the offensive line did a terrible job. There was a few plays
I
where.
don't.
Go
I
ahead.
could say I don't have confidence in my backup offensive line to do as well as yours did this last weekend
Well,
or
here's the
yesterday.
thing too. Yeah, and not only that, the secondary, it was just, you know what? They let Andy Dalton throw for 360 yards. Now, think about that. He dropped back and passed 58 times that game. So it's not like he dropped back 32 times and threw for 360 yards like you'd normally see on a stat sheet. He dropped back 58 times. They could not run the ball on us. 44 yards on the game. And this is also a team that doesn't, like I said, it's not like they're the top running team in the league, but they're definitely not the bottom. They were averaging 126 rushing yards per game, obviously between the first 2 coming into this one. So
Which
really
is
happy to
average.
see that. What's
Which
that?
is average. Which is average from a
Yeah,
team.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think if it was Bryce Young playing that game instead of Andy Dalton, I think we would have won by more. I think I have not heard that stadium that loud in probably 10 years.
That's another thing. We were commenting on that, is that how loud it was at certain points and that we hadn't seen that in a very long time.
Mhm. And
And
I,
and
I
I
don't
was
I
I
don't
was
know if I
commenting
talked to you about that last week. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
about how when you've got such a, I think we might have been talking about, when you got such a tool like that at your disposal as a fan, whether your team is good or not, you should be trying to make sure the other team has the toughest go at it as they can.
Hmm.
And to me, that the regular fan base not exploiting that, just it says something about them, not about the team, not about the real fans, about the part-timers.
Hmm. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was something else. It could be because the Super Bowl 48 team was there. A lot of people were there. Um, Marshawn never made it, and Sherman never made it, but they were at the party the night before. So I don't know if they probably had stuff going on, obviously, but still, when they came on halftime and did their little speech, that was pretty cool. But yeah, 8 false starts in one game. That's the most since 2011 against one team.
But what do you expect with second stringers out there going against an average,
I'm
middle of
talking.
the pack?
No,
Huh?
I'm talking about the Panthers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh really? I can't. Was it that many?
Yes, it was 8. I thought it was 9, but it was 8 because I counted one of the
Oh,
illegal motions when I was at the field. Yeah, it was. The crowd definitely got to him. It was insane. So,
it's good that they could figure that out. Hopefully, people will remember what the power that they have and start
and I
utilizing it.
think that was a.
Like
I
I
think
was,
that was a good reminder because after every false
yeah.
start, we got, dude. We had they had 3 in 1 drive. They had 3 in 1 drive, and it was almost like being back in the Holmgren days. I swear that was louder than the Legion of Boom days when Holmgren was our coach. I swear that place was louder. Um, and it was
Legion
like,
of
you know
Boom,
what?
Holmgren.
If
Holmgren
Mike
wasn't the
Holmgren,
coach when the
no,
Legion of
I
Boom.
swear the Holmgren days were louder than when the Legion of Boom was
Really?
around. Hmm. Yeah, I
Huh.
really do believe so. I mean, that's when the Giants fall start 11 times against us on Sunday Night Football in
Who? The
2005.
Lions?
The Giants. Sorry,
The
my
Giants.
voice is messed up.
No, we're good. I but I could see the Giants doing that on a regular day in anywhere.
Yeah, and
The
then we did
Giants the
go ahead.
Giants never impress me because it doesn't seem like they're built on excellence. They're
No, even
built
when they
on
win the Super
average.
Bowl, even when they win the Super Bowl, I get it. It was what 12 years ago now they won the Super Bowl, but they never impressed me when they won those two Super Bowls against the Patriots. It was kind of like, oh, the Giants are there.
The Patriots lost those Super Bowls, not the Giants won them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So that was it. Was definitely an exciting time this weekend.
Oh
Took
God.
This is one where you could see the Seahawks losing just because of all the injuries and the expectations that we were going to win. And so I think that was kind of a big deal. You watching the Rams, huh?
Yeah, I was watching that first down play. It's nasty.
What, him getting
Some
tackled? Or no, I'm on second down. Yeah, I'm
well,
way behind you.
it was well, it was a third down play to get a first down, and
Oh, a third down play? Maybe I'm
th-
behind you, not ahead of you.
they
Sorry.
did their short yardage play. The Eagles did.
Oh, you're watching the Eagles.
Yeah,
Oh, see, I got the Rams and Bengals on.
I don't give a shit about either of those teams really. I'm
I
looking to
guess.
see what the Eagles are doing because we got a date, not only regular season, but I think we got a date in the playoffs. So these are the guys I'm gunning for. Like Dallas looks like they're bitches, so I'm not worried about them. So right now, the
Yeah.
only person,
How about Dallas? Did you watch
holy
any of the
Jesus,
game? Or
no,
because I just saw the score.
holy Jesus, I don't, God, I don't know what their deal is, but they are not who they think they are at all.
No,
If
when
I
we
was
lose.
Jerry Jones, I would just sell the team at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, what'd you see out of the Seahawks when you watched them? I saw you streamed it. Obviously, I didn't really tune in. But
You know, I can't remember much from the game. I
too
just
sick.
to kind of remember individual plays, yeah. I mean, I was very lightheaded. I was just talking about what I was seeing at that point in time. I can kind of think back to certain times where I was like frustrated with them not being able to be competent. You know what I mean? There was times where they just needed to do some regular shit and they couldn't.
Yeah, and oh, not to mention Witherspoon looked awesome. Our rookie cornerback. That was his first home game. He got called on one pass interference call, which it was 50-50 if it was called or not. But one of the big knocks on him coming in was, oh, he's
Wait,
only.
was that the one where he had his hand around the back?
I couldn't tell you.
There
It was
was
on.
one there was
Was it
one
on
pass.
third down?
I don't know. I just remember there was one pass interference call that didn't look like the guy did anything to disrupt the receiver's path at all. It
Hmm.
just seemed like his hand was around his waist before the ball came in. And I think that would be like a knee jerk reaction from a ref is to think that the moment the hand came around, something impeded. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I think.
Because it was a good play. Like he just had his hand and moved his whole body around the receiver instead of grabbing the receiver and moving his hand and the receiver at the same time to kind of make it easier for him to move. So
Yeah, I think that was it because it was like an in route on third down, or sorry, a hitch on third down. And shout out Bryant. Jake Bobo scored his first career NFL touchdown. He had one catch for five
so did
yards
Ronnie
with
Bell.
one touchdown. Oh, that was Ronnie Bell's first touchdown too.
Yeah. How you
Oh,
gonna take it down when I put it up? Jeez. Jeez. Um, so yeah, I think Ronnie Bell's gonna have more. yards or better stats.
I'd assume.
But that could be not true real easy, and it depends. Like, what are we considering? At what point do touchdowns um, outdo yards? So, like, if Bobo's only used to do trick plays and get touchdowns, you know what I mean? Then not. I'm not saying that's all he could do. I'm just saying, like, if he, if he's like a red zone weapon for them, right? So,
He's
AKA, he's
not.
not going to be getting a lot of yards. I'm I don't watch him a
He's
lot. I'm just putting a
no, he's
thing down there.
nothing. I mean, they're using him as like a pulling blocker. He's not. He will have no stats. I'm sorry.
Then how'd he score a touchdown?
That was the only ball he was throwing all day
Yeah. And you know why?
because he's the man. I don't know.
Because they want him open when they need to go to him.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's like if you look at the play that Ronnie Bell scored his touchdown. It was made to essentially give Ronnie Bell a one-on-one with good leverage on the defensive back. Because you run him out and up, and you put one of our weapons underneath cutting in, and they immediately go to the weapons, and they're like, that guy, let the safety handle him, right?
Mhm.
Because we need to pay more attention on the weapons and it's in front. Well, the safety's got to move over. He's already behind. Ball gets thrown in front, touchdown. You know what I mean? Like, it was set up that way. So you might find that he might be the guy who is essentially, all else fails, you try all your good things, all your good players on first and second down, and nothing's working, and then you just do some crazy thing with Jake Bobo that everybody's expecting him to be the blocking receiver, right? So when he comes at the defensive back like he's about to block him, the defensive back has to stop, turn around, look in the backfield to see where the runner's coming, right? And how to play him. Bobo can just break off into his coverage right there, having the DB just standing there waiting for the ball carrier to come around the back when it's Gino with the ball in his hand, tossing it to Bobo behind him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. I just don't expect much. It's a good story. I think he'll stay on the team, but
It's a good story. I'm telling you, these coaches got guys like that. There was one time, 49ers, right? We had Richie James Jr.
the
and
kick
he
return
was
guy.
like, yeah, he was kick returner, wide receiver. one game we just decided to put him back there as a wide receiver for one play. Hadn't played in the whole game at all. We put him in the backfield, and he runs like a, I don't know, 15, 20-yard touchdown. And they're like, why did you do this, Kyle? And it was like, oh, we just saw something that we liked. In other words, he needed somebody who could run really fast and they could do it up the middle. And as long as he was fast enough, he'd be able to get deeper. So they're like, we haven't used him all game doing this. They won't know what to think about it when I put him back there and then take a wide receiver and run him up the gut, because they were making such a big hole and we were having issues in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can take your strong points like the running game and use it before you kind of get in the red zone, they were able to turn points off of that, just right out of the middle of nowhere. Richie James Jr., he was like, I don't know, number 4 wide receiver, number 5 wide receiver on the team forever.
Yeah, he played for the Giants last year. He fumbled twice against us.
I like the guy. He's quick. You can put him in running back, wide receiver, all that. He's handy.
But want to give a shout out to CarCast. He's in here.
What up, CarCast?
He said yo, and then yo, and add some exclamation points, and then said whoops, didn't mean to send that, and then said nothing. So what's happening, CarCast?
How do you say that? How do you send nothing, CarCast?
I'm assuming you put a space and then sent. No, because it didn't let me do it. So
unless he deleted it. But usually when they delete stuff, you can see it.
I don't know how you sent nothing, but he's just speechless. He's just speechless on how good this
He's
podcast
speechless.
is.
Yeah. Oh, I told
But
my daughter we're doing a show.
yeah, Stafford just threw an interception.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. She hung up right as I answered. Punk. She called me for an hour yesterday during my 7-hour stream.
So, what games did you stream
Well,
yesterday?
like she didn't call me for an hour. The Seahawks and then the Sunday night game.
Oh, you
I
did
can't
do
even
the
remember who was
Sunday
on the Sunday night game.
Raiders Steelers.
Yeah. Raiders Steelers,
Jimmy
that's right. The
Jimmy
Raiders suck.
Garoppolo.
Oh my god.
So did Garoppolo get hurt? I heard. I was listening to it on the radio, but did he come out of the game or no?
He came out of the game at one point on third down. Like he got injured on third down and then was back in there the next series.
Oh, okay.
And then like he got like a roughing the passer call on him and he did a soccer flop. And what's bullshit is he got hit totally textbook.
Yeah.
Like the guy hit his shoulder pads first, and then I believe, I'm sorry, I just remember there was this hit, and I believe it was on Jimmy G, but the guy hit him in the shoulder pad first, and then his helmet did hit Jimmy G's helmet, but it hit the shoulder pads first and knocked him down, and he just like flailed like a bitch. That might not have been the same call.
There was one play where the Seahawks got called for roughing the passer. Granted, it was a very hard hit on Dalton after he released the ball, but he was on the sideline. So my idea was, I always thought, is the quarterback's protected in the pocket. But I could be wrong. But that was always my thought on roughing the passer. Was if he's out of the pocket, he's considered a runner.
Yeah, well, this was different. He wasn't outside of the pocket. He was clearly in the pocket at this point in time. But
No, I got you. I was talking about the Seahawks game because that just reminded me. Somebody got called for roughing the passer.
yeah, but who knows? They've tried to save these quarterbacks' lives so many times that you never know what the rules are anymore.
Yeah, I know they do change shit up just a little bit, and you're like, oh, when did that happen?
Yeah. Oh, now this is this and this. So so it's just protect the quarterback. This the only. It's like that's like who was it the other day? DJ Reed in the blowout with the Dolphins had his helmet ripped off, a face mask from the the running back gets his helmet ripped off, and it's like, oh well, why isn't there a flag there? But if
I've
that
noticed.
defensive player drives the running back into the ground, well, I guess they won't call a penalty unless it's a quarterback. But if a quarterback face masks the shit out of someone's helmet to the point where it comes off, and then that defensive lineman drives him into the ground, the defensive lineman's getting the penalty.
To be fair, Deshaun Watson did get called for 2 face mask penalties last week, but they were pretty blatant. He grabbed the guy's face mask and then threw him out of bounds. Was on one of them. I was kind of hoping he'd break his fingers. I hate Deshaun Watson. I think he's a total creep.
Yep.
So that's kind of my thing with Deshaun Watson. I'll just kind of root against him. I've always liked the Browns. I always really liked the Browns.
I don't like them. I just root for them because they're shit.
I did. That's what I did forever.
I did until now that he's on their team. Yeah.
And that's my thing. Guys. And I'm never like that. I'm never like that. Like, always like one player, he can piss me off, but I usually won't hate the team. the fact that they gave him that contract made me hate the team. So I don't like the Browns one bit.
Well, they do what a trash ass organization does,
Yeah.
and they make shitty decisions,
Yep. But yeah.
which I'm sure will come back to bite them. To me, like a guy that has to see this many massage therapists, he's he's got something going on. And you got all that money, but you can't get caught doing this. You're still going to try and figure out a way to do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So at some point in time, that the way he tries to get around it might come out. And that's when they're fucked. I just hope it happens like halfway through the deal where they still got a whole shit ton of money tied up with them and they got to fucking get rid of them,
Well,
piece
that's
them out,
written
and deal with
into
it.
his contract. Anything new that comes out, he can be penalized for.
Oh.
So, but anyways, yeah. So, what do you have going on the rest of the week? I guess. What do you have planned? Anything fun? I noticed you got a squirt. It's the best soda in the world.
Oh. Oh, that's my spittoon.
I noticed, but it was a
Sorry.
squirt at one point.
When I'm sick like this, yes it was. I don't like to keep putting the shit down my throat. It just ends up in the lungs, you know what I mean? So if I don't want to get stuck with a cough for a month and a half, I gotta fucking spit in a bottle. I know it's
Yeah.
nasty, but
Oh, yeah. Like I'm one to judge.
yeah, I got you. I'm just saying, it's not normally a thing I do is just go around spitting in containers, but when I'm sick or I feel like I'm coming down with some kind of a chest something or other, I definitely start spitting in a cup to kind of make sure none of that shit's going down there. It's much easier to get over something that never happened. You know what I mean? Or get rid of stuff that never got in
Now
there in
I
the
get
first
it.
place.
Like if I get a headache, and so I used to not take any medicine at all. Like I was like, I would not take medicine. Now I get a headache. The first thing I do before it gets real bad, before I get like a super bad migraine, is I'll take a Tylenol, and then it'll go away
I don't
before it
get
gets worse.
I don't get like headaches or migraines unless I'm sick.
Oh, I get bad ones.
I I am tremendously lucky. Um, and I throw no shade and knock on wood that it doesn't, it keeps up. I just my mom had bad migraines. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. But what do you have going on the rest of the week? You have anything fun planned? Any streams? Anything?
Oh yeah, I got the Bring the Heat podcast tomorrow. I'm sure we're doing oh, sure we're doing No BS Ted tomorrow with Ted.
Now, who's
Speaking
Bring
of
the
which,
Heat?
I'm gonna
I'm
grab something.
sorry, I'm bad at remembering that stuff.
Bring the Heat is with Bashar from 49er Minded and Mariah from 49er Faithfully Pod.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, I don't know. You probably seen them around.
I've seen Bashar. I think he's came in on Friday night at one time.
Oh yeah, Bashar's a good guy, and Mariah's come in the chat. I don't know if while you were there, she comes in the chat. She's a homie. Um, she got it set up. She's the stay at home wife. She got her wife who goes to work and brings home the money, and and Mariah sits there and takes care of the family business. So she gets to do her Niner stuff, and I mean, she's she got it made in the shade.
Sweet.
Mariah's the shit. Mariah will tell you when your shit stinks before you even ask. I love Mariah.
That's always good.
Right?
Yeah.
It's some people don't appreciate that. I love it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I totally get that. But yeah. Are you streaming the Thursday night game with Corey?
Yes, we will be streaming the Thursday night game with Corey and looking for you. In fact, we should figure out where your seats are so we can kind of know the position of where you'd be at.
I don't know if it's the north or south end zone. I was thinking about maybe calling in during that show for like a second just to show you guys that I was there.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
be like, hey man, I know you guys are streaming the game a little delayed, like in between a quarter or something. I thought that'd be fun to do. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I leave Wednesday morning, so that's gonna be super fun. That's gonna be super fun.
I will send you the link. I will make sure I send you the link.
Yeah, I was
But yeah, we
thinking
got
about calling
that.
in.
I think the Friday night show, one of them, either the pregame or the after party, will be on my channel this week. I'm not sure. I got to check with Bryant Culp, but
Boy, last Friday night was so fun. I'll tell you what. That was some good content we created there. Uh, if you guys
it
haven't
was a good
seen
show.
it, make sure to go check it back out. It,
Both
it
shows
was
were
fun.
great.
Yeah. Um, but yeah. Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything? The Hawks, Niners?
Um,
Anyth- I know it's
so
weird. Okay, go
the
ahead. Sorry.
Niners, the Niners have the Cowboys killers this week.
Let me
So
look at the schedule.
I'm a little, I'm a little kind of wary of how well we might be able to we might take on this team that doesn't know that we're supposed to just run them into the
Oh,
dirt.
the Cowboy Killers. I was like, man, I got no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
honestly,
just
teams like that are the most dangerous teams to play
that's what I'm
because,
saying.
well, it's not like they're mediocre and they're not good and they're not great. It's like one of those teams that you don't know what the hell they're going to come out and do because they're too dumb, or they're not dumb, sorry. They're too young to realize that they're supposed to just lay over and take a beating. And
Right.
that's how the Seahawks were last year.
Last
They'd
year, yes.
they'd stick in every game, you know? And people are like, why won't these guys just go away? These guys are pesky. And I'm starting to get that vibe from the Cardinals a little bit.
Yep.
Uh, just because not only that, I mean, obviously something was up the second half of the Giants game, but they were up 28-6 or 28-7. I mean, to get up that high, you got to be doing something right. I don't remember what they did week one. Oh, the Commanders, close game. Yeah, they played all close games. Actually, their largest margin, like point differential, was the Cowboys game. They lost by 4, they lost by 3, and then they won by
13.
12.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think they're one of those trap games that you just better be careful and just,
Better bring a lunch.
yeah, take them seriously.
Um, one
Not
second.
that
I got
you,
to run. I got to go grab some water real quick.
okay, no biggie.
Be right back.
But yeah, if anybody in the chat has any questions or anything, feel free to ask them. We'll try to get to, I think, just about everything we got through with the Seahawks so far. Um, and then the Niners obviously played on Thursday, so it'll be a long week for them. Uh, it's kind of hard to get excited about week 4 for the Seahawks right now, for me personally, because I'm going to Green Bay on Thursday and watching that game. And then we don't play until Monday night, and that'll be in New York, where we've historically played really well. Um, We should have all of our starters back. Jamal Adams will be back for the first time this season. This will also be the first time, other than about the first drive of the Detroit game, that you'll see Witherspoon and Woolen on the same field. Uh, so yeah, we're just really excited about that. And the man, the myth, the legend is back. He has retained water, obtained water.
I
Sorry, I don't think retaining.
I usually
water is-
take Mucinex, and so when you take Mucinex, you got to drink a lot of water with it because it, like, I don't know, it dehydrates you as it breaks the shit up and gets it out of your system. So
yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, so the Seahawks, we don't play till Monday night next week, and we play the Giants in New York, where we've been historically good at that stadium. That's, I mean, I won't go on stat head right now because it'll take a second, but I don't remember losing a lot there. I actually can't point a finger and point at one game that we've lost there. We won our Super Bowl there. So, yeah. And I believe Saquon will still be out.
yeah.
So, and then our bye week is week 5 after that. So it's going to be a boring couple Sundays for old me over here. There's like I said, it'll be Monday night bye week, and then we're back Sunday week 6. So
Yeah.
which usually I'd say early buys are bad, and I'm not saying it's good in this instance, but with the amount of injuries that we have early right now, it might be good. But then again, it's not like those injuries just go away forever. So I'm always a guy that I like a buy just right in the middle of the season, but that's just me.
Yeah, everybody likes their bye in the middle of the season. That's why
Just yeah.
I feel they should extend the season one more game and give everybody 2 buys. So you have a bye in the beginning of the season, you got a bye at the end of the season.
Oh, they
You know what I
will.
mean?
It'll be
Yeah.
next CBA. So I think 8 years. I think 8 years they'll have 18 games. We have Steve-O in the house. He said, "What's up, ladies? First week of betting, first win. Congrats, Steve-O, on that." Brian's back in here with another McNiner raid. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
Isn't the show over? Is it that they do have a show going on at 7, so make sure that you go check them out. I believe it was on David McNiner's channel. I believe they have Wolfcast on their show.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure to go check them out. I'm sorry, my voice is totally gone today. I didn't think it would be this gone.
Dude, you don't even know. I have been waiting for the native tacos all week since last Sunday. And today I'm sick and feel like shit, and I'm not going out to get no fucking native tacos.
Yeah.
Sucks.
We got Corey Davis in the house.
What up, Corey? I'm doing better today.
Corey, I'm gonna have to just mail you in, or not mail. What am I, 70 years old? I'm gonna have to just send you in my picks this week because I'm not gonna be there. But I'm sure I didn't do that great on this week, so I could be wrong. I think I'm batting around 500. So
Yeah.
just kind of hanging in there. But yeah, how about them Broncos?
Holy Jesus.
How
about that interview afterwards? Sean Payton was like hella combative.
Okay, so what do you think of that?
What do you mean?
What do you think about him being all combative to the reporter?
I don't give a shit.
See,
to me personally, I don't care that he was, But at the same time, I don't think it makes you look good. But it's not like I'm gonna. It's not like I'm gonna condemn him and say he can't. He shouldn't coach in the NFL ever again, or he has no tact or anything like that. That was to get mollywop like that when you are a Super Bowl winning head coach and you got some young upstart. It's his second year in the league as a head coach. It's like his eighth year in the league altogether, maybe 10th. I'm not sure, but you know what I mean? And he comes in and just whips you like that. Yeah.
Well, and then
I
here's my thing
understand
with
it.
Sean Payton. You lose by 70, and you don't have time for these
50.
reporters, or you lose by 50, you get 70 points put up on you. Um, you owe them the right to at least hear what they're trying to ask you. And I get it was kind of a backhanded question that he was going to ask. But still, at the same time, you lose by 50 points. You deserve to hang in there and tough it out. Sorry.
I'm not saying that you're
Especially with
wrong.
some,
I'm just saying
especially,
when when if you don't have the answers, how are you supposed to vocalize that to somebody?
well, he
You just
obviously
know
didn't
you
have
don't want
any
to talk
answers for the
about the
Broncos.
murder you just that what's that?
So he obviously didn't have any answers for the Broncos team against the Dolphins.
That's what I'm saying. So how the fuck are you going to vocalize that to a reporter if you couldn't stop 70 points being put up on you?
Oh my God.
10 touchdowns. 10 touchdowns, not a single field goal.
Yeah, 10 extra
10
points.
touchdowns. Yeah. To me it's like how do you explain that to somebody? If if you can understand what happened, then you would be able to fix it earlier. And he
Yeah,
wasn't able to up into the end.
yeah.
So
It just makes me happy that I've never liked Sean Payton, and obviously you know how I feel about Russell. So it actually it made me smile. So ear to ear, I saw they were down 42-13, and I was like, oh man, look at that, 49-13. Oh no way, the Broncos are getting their ass kicked, 56 to third, and this on and on, and I'm like, no way, this ESPN app is real right now. Like, this is joking. This is like the Seahawks. This is almost as good as the Seahawks winning a game. I love to see Russell fail, which you can't put on Russell. He don't play defense. But
well, no, but how are you going to win a game if you can't, like, he can't put up 40? He can't, you know what I mean? Like, let's
well,
say the defense was able to stop half those points. You still lose the game.
well, yeah, and the offense
Half.
only scored 13 points.
Right.
One of them was on a kick return
Right.
because the Dolphins scored a touchdown. Which they got the kick return for a touchdown, and then the Dolphins took the kick off and then just drove back down the field and scored another
Got a
touchdown.
touchdown.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just it is something else in Broncos country. I just laughed because they thought they swindled us last offseason. I mean, that was the
Oh
number
my
one.
God. I think it's hilarious because I was thinking, like, Russell Wilson with his whole I can't let negative comments, get in type thing. Well, how do you with a 20-7 loss, 70 loss?
Yeah, and how do you with Sean Payton as your head coach? Because Sean Payton will bark at him, not like Pete. Russell got what he wanted. He wanted an offensive-minded head coach that'll let him
Yeah.
run his offense, right? And then you see where the Seahawks right now. We're 2-1. We lost one game that we shouldn't have because I still think we're a better team than the Rams. I really do.
Yeah,
The
I think you
Broncos
are
just
too.
lost 70-20, take 3 losses in a row to start the season. So, um, Go ahead and talk shit, Broncos fans. Probably going to be benched for Caleb Williams next year.
Dude, it's what a fleecing. What a fleecing. Because, like, not only did you give them this, but you got all that in return. Like, they paid millions of dollars for all that and all them picks. And they got a lump of shit who can't take any sort of criticism because he has to believe that everything is okay. I wonder what Sierra has to do inside the house. Oh, imagine if his dick game was weak and she had to be like, no, this is great, honey. Yeah. All 22 seconds was amazing. You know what I mean?
Dude, he's something else. He's not the same guy as he was when he was 25. I'll tell you that. He is something else. Big shout out before we get off here. We got Tony joining in. How you doing? Yeah. So, anyways,
Tony is awesome. She's the shit. She's got a great show on Saturday night, 5:00, called
Ladies of the
Empire.
Yeah. Yeah, she does good work over there in the Culp household. Both of them really working hard too. So,
yeah,
Brian and Tony. So,
and they've got nice, friendly shows that everybody can watch and enjoy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Sure.
I'm not necessarily as friendly, so
no, I'll second that.
Yeah, so if you want good family oriented, you make sure you go check out Tony and Bryant Culp.
Mm-hmm.
And just remember that Bryant is Tony's husband.
Yeah.
It's Bryant, Tony Culp's husband. Or what is it? Mr. Tony Culp? There we go.
Yeah,
Mr. Tony Culp.
Mr. Tony Culp right there. But yeah, with that, is there anything else you want to talk? Get off your chest.
Nah, man. Everybody go find David McNiner's show.
Yeah.
I'll meet you over there in the chat.
I do want to plug my show tomorrow. Candace from Sports Ethos Network is coming on my channel, and we will be there at 6.
She's amazing.
Tomorrow. Yeah, she is. She's awesome. So
you have a show at the same time as us, so I'll probably just pop in the chat and say, Debo that like button. But it's not that I don't want to watch your show. It's just that I'm on another show at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to steal the spotlight from Ryan right now is what I'm really trying to do.
Anybody here, if you happen to be watching that show, make sure to go over to Candace's show also and hit the like button and make sure she gets a view also, because I've been noticing like a lot of people come into yours, but they don't go over to Candace's. So, last time I watched your guys' show, I actually watched it on hers because she didn't have many views. So I just was like, I'll just go watch it on hers because, I'll give her it's hard. You know what I mean? Like, I only got 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody make sure to go, if Bryant's still here, probably not, you're probably getting ready for your show. Go on either Bryant Culp's or McNiner's channel. I'm not really sure which one it's on. Just type in McNiner Culp on YouTube. I'm sure it'll come up. But
well, just look on the David McNiner's channel, right?
I think.
Right, Bryant, put it down there. Whose channel is it on? And everybody, you can go to that one.
Yeah, Bryant, put that down there. And with that, see you guys next Wednesday.
And we out.